Jon, it's great to have you on the Christian Rock 20. I'm excited to get to talk about Weathered and, of course, the upcoming record and just getting to know you in general, man. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, because we've never had you on the show before and you guys are a relatively new band as bands go, give us just kind of some backstory on Weathered and kind of where you guys have come from to get where you're at now.
So Weathered, we formed in Mankato, Minnesota, which is about an hour and a half south of the Twin Cities, but we are based in St. Paul, Minnesota currently.
Mm-hmm.
We've been a band for around four-ish years, doing the DIY touring circuit, mainly around the Midwest.
Okay.
We've been out west and out east a little bit too, so we've kind of just been building our little fan base just around the Midwest by doing DIY tours lately.
Okay, nice. Now, you guys very recently got signed to Facedown Records. How did that connection get made?
Just by touring and booking shows for other bands and helping people out and meeting people. Comrades, who's on Facedown Records, has been good friends of ours for a while.
Okay.
That was helpful. Joe from Comrades really helped us with that. And then also, I guess another big thing is we recorded our record with Jim Hughes, who's in the band Colossus, and he also does merch for Facedown Records.
Gotcha.
So, we recorded the whole record with him. He felt really good about it and wanted to send it to Jason to see what he thought.
Okay, nice. So the record that's about to come out, Stranger Here, so that record was done before you guys actually signed with Facedown?
Correct, yeah.
Wow. See, now that's a vote of confidence. I like it when that happens. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's always nice when a label's like, here, go make something. We don't care what it is. Just go do something. But at the same time, it's a nice vote of confidence when they're like, we know what you've done and we think it's really great. So let us do this project with you. Let's put this out together. I think that's great.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little bit of validation for us. And yeah, it just felt really good. And it's really nice teaming up with them to be able to do this.
Sure thing. Now, what was the process like doing this one compared to the EP that you guys had released on your own called Misnomer? What was the process like, and how was that different this time around?
Interestingly enough, Misnomer, those songs off of there, when we were writing for the full length, we had a lot of songs. And then we felt like we had a lot of songs that were left over from our very first EP called Alternative Translation. So we felt like there was a vibe that was left over from that EP while we were trying to write a full length.
Okay.
And we ended up with a lot of songs, and we ended up with a few that were a little bit different and still in the vein of the old EP. And then also we started writing kind of going in a new direction. So Misnomer ended up being like those leftover songs that kind of still tied in to the feelings we had with the old EP. And then, so we decided just to record that EP, make sure we get those songs down and share those with everybody. And then come out with Stranger Here, which would be kind of just a new direction in general.
Okay, I got you. So it was almost like a stepping stone to get listeners and fans from one to the other in a way.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Okay, nice. I like that. That's cool. Now, you guys have already released a single. We've gotten a chance to spin it on the show, and we're going to play it again along with this interview, and it's called There Is One. Tell us about that song.
Yeah, so that one is a band favorite. Also, probably one of the most different songs we've ever released compared to our older material.
Okay.
That one was one of the first songs we wrote for the record. And it kind of just happened. Our guitar player and singer Justin came to us with that song, and we kind of instantly just fell in love with the way it came together. We were kind of worried about putting it out because it is different. It's different for us, we felt like, and it was kind of scary to put that out as the first thing off of our record. But we have been really encouraged by the response for it, so that's been cool.
Okay, nice. So now you say it's different. Do you feel like it's different thematically or sound-wise or both? Or what's different about it?
Sound-wise, it's kind of more airy feeling. A lot of our older stuff maybe is a tad heavier or, more guitar riffs and maybe harsher vocals and stuff like that. And this one's kind of got, the guitars are pretty airy. Feels like there's a lot more space.
Sure.
Lead guitar's doing less, and the vocals are a little bit different. Maybe I feel like the melodies are like a step up in my opinion, and I think that's cool. So yeah, it was just kind of a new direction for us.
Sweet deal. So now, in addition to being different from the stuff you guys had released before, do you feel like it's pretty indicative of the rest of the record, or does it feel different than that as well?
There are elements of that song that make their way into other songs on the record, and then also there are elements in other songs on the record that maybe aren't summarized in that song too.
Okay.
So I think it's a good song that kind of is indicative of the rest of the record, but there's going to be a lot more sonically happening than what's on that song.
Okay, but let me rephrase the question then. So if a fan is brand new, they've heard this song, they like this song, they buy the whole record, would they be surprised by what else is on the record as far as like, oh, well, this isn't what I signed up for?
No, I don't think they'd be surprised.
Okay.
I hope that they would enjoy, like, the other elements of everything else. I think this is a pretty good, like, this is what this record's going to be like.
Okay.
But there's going to be some wiggle in each direction as far as, like, softness and loudness and guitar work goes. So.
Yeah. I don't know that many people who just really want a record where every song sounds the same, so that's good. I'm all about that. That's awesome. You guys are also allowing us to play a song that you guys are dropping on Friday, and of course the first airing of this show will be on the Friday that this song drops, and it's the title track off the upcoming record, Stranger Here. Tell us about that song. Yeah,
so that one, for me personally, it's my favorite song to play live, especially. I feel really strongly about that song and the melody and everything like that. I personally think that Stranger Here is probably the most indicative of the whole record.
Okay.
I think if you listen to that song, you might get a feel for everything that would be going on in the record. That's a pretty good summary of everything. Yeah, it just speaks to being, like the title says, a stranger here, not feeling like you're at home.
Okay, nice. So kind of a sense of unease in a way.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, so you had mentioned playing live. You guys just got back from playing Audio Feed, which to me is kind of like the new version of Cornerstone Festival because it's in the same part of the country. It's basically the same area, and it's kind of going back to the roots of, I think, what Cornerstone kind of started as in a lot of ways. But how was the experience playing at Audio Feed?
It was really good. We were very, very, very encouraged by everybody who watched us that we didn't know. So there was a lot of people there that we had never met before and had never seen us before, but had come out because they've heard our name. And that was super encouraging. Yeah, we had a super great experience. And we were there for the whole weekend. So we played day one, but we decided to hang around for the whole weekend and get to meet people and talk to people. And that was great as well. It was just like a very cool family feeling festival.
Nice. Well, what was a favorite moment of yours, either from playing the set itself or just from hanging out at Audio Feed?
I got to see As Cities Burn live, which I've never seen before. And that was probably my favorite moment of the whole weekend.
Sweet deal. Yeah. I've never gotten to see them live either. And I'm kind of a late fan to them because I think back when they first came out, it was back when I was really into bands like Living Sacrifice and Norma Jean, and they weren't quite heavy enough for me.
Yeah.
Which is funny because there's a lot of those bands that are like that for me that I'm like looking back on, I'm like, this was really good. Why didn't I like this?
Yeah. And I'm a late fan too, because after our first EP we put out, people kept commenting and telling me like, hey, you guys sound like kind of like As Cities Burn. And I was like, oh, I've never really listened to that band.
Right.
And then I started listening to them. I was like, wow, I should have been listening to this for a really long time. So now I'm a pretty big fan, and their set was incredible. So they lived up to the hype. And if you get a chance to see them, I would do it.
Cool. I'm all about that, man. That's awesome. Now, one thing that I'm going to give you like a minor hard time about, you guys have named the band Weathered, and I wasn't sure exactly the story behind that, but I can only imagine that the reason behind naming the album Weathered was because Human Clay and My Own Prison were already taken as a band name.
I don't know the reference. Is that a Creed reference?
Yes,
I hope.
Yes.
Okay. Good. See, yeah, we make that joke all the time, but I'm not familiar with any other Creed albums.
Okay.
But for a while, we actually found a Creed Weathered record at a garage sale on one of our tours, and we've had it at our merch table pretty frequently. We just have it sitting out there. So, if someone wants to buy that record from us, we've got it on CD.
There you go. Yeah. Well, dude, I have gone through a tad bit of effort just because I was like, it's like they're a fairly new band. There's a lot of stuff that I might ask that might not apply. And, you guys are coming out with your first full length. So some of the stuff, it's not necessarily the kind of thing that lends itself towards easy questions. So in light of the fact that you guys do share a band name / album title with Creed, I came up with a Creed quiz for you specifically about
I'm
that
gonna
record.
Fail this miserably.
It's multiple choice.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay, so this one I know you'll know the answer to, but I went through the effort of writing the question, and so I feel like I just have to ask it anyway. So the album cover for Creed's Weathered features either A, someone carving the band's faces into the side of a tree, B, a ship in a storm with a hand reaching down from the clouds, or C, Scott Stapp's face just made to look old.
It would be A.
That is right.
It is I will say it's a very interesting album cover. That's about all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, we'll come back to that. Oh, man. Oh, so after the album Weathered by Creed was released, the band offered an online contest, which included trivia and scavenger hunts, etc., to win a chance to basically have lunch with him, I think, at Universal Studios. What was this contest called? Was it called A, The Hunt for Creed, B, The Search for Awesome, or C, Creed Quest?
I'm going to say C, Creed Quest, because it sounds cooler.
Look at you! 2 for 2.
Yes.
All right, so here's the last one. This one may be the hardest. So the album cover, as we've already discussed, is not a great looking album cover. I don't know what the deal was with them in that album cover. The cover was rated as the worst album cover by a site called Drop the Anvil, which I guess no longer exists because I can't find it now.
Okay.
But it was a tie with what other album cover for the worst album cover? Was it A, the Bee Gees' Life in a Can, B, the Beatles' A Magical Mystery Tour, or C, another Creed album, Human Clay?
I'm going to say, I'm trying to remember that Bee Gees album cover, and I think it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's like an open can of something, and you just see their faces obviously pasted in underneath, superimposed into the hole of them looking out, and it's pretty bad.
I'm gonna say that one.
Okay, well, you're not making it 3 for 3. It was actually tied with Creed's Human Clay.
I should have gone. That was my gut, man. All right, man. I guess I don't get the prize today. But.
Well, the prize was just pure bragging rights that mean absolutely, totally nothing. But, dude, I don't know. It hit me. I'm like, I have to ask him about that because surely someone has mentioned that by now. Not that it's a problem. I mean, heaven knows if any band has a right to exclusive titles or names for anything, it definitely wouldn't be Creed. And I don't mind Creed. I was a fan back in the day. They were huge while I was in college, and that's fine. But you know, man, that album cover is really atrocious.
It's rough. Yeah.
I don't understand any of their album covers, honestly. But you know, it was a thing. At least it was consistent, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
You're right.
Well, cool. Now there is one other thing that I'll close out with, which is kind of a fun question that I ask everybody at the end of the interview. But before we wrap things up, is there anything else that you want fans to know? Obviously, the new record, "Stranger Here," the full length on Facedown is coming out August 17th. But any other future plans or things that we haven't talked about that you want fans and future fans to know about?
Not too much. Yeah, the record's coming out August 17th. You can pre-order that on Facedown Records at their Merch Now website.
Okay.
You know, we got a bunch of cool T-shirts and vinyl options and all that fun stuff.
Cool.
The other thing that's not announced right now is that we will be doing a tour around this release. It'll be mainly Midwest, so we'll hit all our all the old spots we've played, and I think it's like a 2.5-week tour. So yeah, if you live in the Midwest and you want to come see us play some of these new songs, we'll be on tour from August 10th to the 27th.
Cool. And I almost forgot to mention this, but also you guys have a music video out for the single as well, so you guys can check that out as well. It's online. It's pretty cool. Yep. I remember checking that out about a week ago.
And the new song we're releasing Friday called "Stranger Here," that will be released with a music video as well.
Oh, wow. Cool. That's fun.
Yes.
Now, had you guys, and this is a question asked out of pure ignorance, but had you guys done music videos up to this point?
We did. Actually, we've done 2. So we did one for our first EP. That was alternative translation, and the song was Sylvia. Mm-hmm. We did music video for that. And Justin, our singer guitar player, did that. He was the brainchild behind that music video, and that was pretty cool. And then we did a music video for our song "Morning" off of Misnomer. Okay. And all that stuff's on YouTube. So if you want to go through and check that out, that you can do that as well.
Sweet deal. Awesome. Coolness. Well, dude, I will wrap it up with this question. I mean, you're the lead singer of a band. You play guitar.
I am not the lead singer.
You're not?
Justin is the lead singer. I am the guitar player. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's so weird. Now, how in the world? Now, and see, now I'm confused.
That's okay.
I'm gonna ask this. Let me see. Hang on. I've gotta look back, which is fine. We can restart that question. That's not a big deal. But, oh, that's why. See, it's funny. Justin's name is buried. You have to click "See More" on your band members thing on your Facebook page to be able to see that he was even in the band.
That's funny.
He's the etc. for your band, man. That's great.
He is, yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of like, as far as members go, you would say he's the least important. He only sings and plays guitar. He's not really that important.
Fair enough. And also, just a heads up, you guys should probably change the record label of unsigned on your Facebook page to reflect the fact that you guys are signed now.
You're right. Man.
But it's okay. The Facebook page for the show, I check on the status of those kinds of things like maybe once every 3 years, and I'm like, oh, well, I should probably change that. So I totally understand.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I will do that after I get off the phone with you.
Right. Cool. All right, well, I'll restart that last question then. Okay. So you're the guitar player in a rock band. You guys are putting out a record. You guys are signed to an awesome record label. I love what Facedown does, and they just have like so much street cred all over the place. It's awesome. But despite the fact that all that is really cool, Jon, what is the most un-rock and roll thing about you?
Oh, man. There's a lot of un-rock and roll things about me.
Well, pick one. We'll have you back some other time, and we'll expound upon others. But pick one that you think that is the one that you're least likely to bring up from stage.
I'll have to go through my whole life and just figure it out.
Well, it can be a current condition. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you wore pink for a solid year when you were in junior high or something goofy like that. I mean, it can be something that's ongoing.
Okay. I don't know. So there's this term called normie.
Okay.
So there's people, if you're in like the rock and roll scene, you kind of look at, if you're normie, they're typically people who love sports and like really normal stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And I would say I'm wholeheartedly a normie.
Okay.
Like I play rock music, but I love sports, like huge college football fan, college basketball fan. I love baseball. I played baseball in college. Yeah, that's probably the least rock and roll thing about me is that like in all my spare time, I'm reading articles about University of Michigan football, like constantly. Like the first thing I did when I woke up this morning, check to see if there's any new articles about that.
Wow.
So you probably don't. Yeah, it's that I'm that person.
Nice. Now, where did you play baseball?
So Justin, the other guitar player, and I met in college. We were both studying to be pastors at a college called Martin Luther College, which is in a small town in New Ulm, Minnesota.
Okay.
And I played baseball there for a year.
Okay. Nice.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, sweetness, man. Well, dude, I feel like I know you so much better now. That's awesome.
Well, good.
And there's nothing wrong with being a normie. I mean, I think it's always interesting to me because it always feels like at least one out of every other band has to have that guy who is like the guy who shows up on stage at least a couple of nights per tour wearing like a basketball jersey or something that just says, you know what, I'm not just all about music, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It was fun getting to know you, and I look forward to hearing the full-length record and getting a chance to spend some time with it, and hopefully this will not be the last time we'll talk, and hopefully next time we'll be talking about how you guys are out on tour with As Cities Burn, and they're really good at opening up for you guys.
That would be, yeah. We'll see about that. But we would love to talk to you again. It's been super fun. Thanks for the Creed quiz. That was awesome.
Yeah. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. I don't put quizzes together like that for just everybody. So,
yeah, I feel honored.